Talk Antiques on your hometown station, Thunder Radio. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hey.
Good morning.
Ronnie, Philip, David, they're here. They're reared up and ready to go.
That's us.
Tell us what the what is.
The word is the bird.
So, David, I was watching TV last night and came across your episode again.
Yeah, it was on.
They
at
can't get enough.
9:06 and 12:06.
They can't get enough of you on
Well,
on
you
the
know,
Pickers.
at one time, if you went to the History Channel's Facebook,
Yeah,
we were in the top 10 most watched shows
yeah,
of theirs on the Picker, which I think is great.
yeah. True, very
You
cool.
know, I still want I want Brian and I to challenge the Pickers to a pick-off.
Have you done that yet, or are you
Not
just
yet,
working
but
up
I'm
to
gonna
it?
tell you, I guarantee you, we can outpick them.
I think that's a good idea. And
Well-
not to downplay your part of the episode or anything, but that wooden hot rod was pretty cool too.
You like
Like
it?
those
Yeah.
people before you.
I wonder how many pocket knives it took to whittle that
I was going to say
hot rod out.
I've never seen another one like that. Have you?
You know, I come up with this. You know, I built a 80 Yamaha, a 64 model, and ended up with an extra engine, completely rebuilt.
Yeah.
So it was on a motor stand, so you could actually run it.
Oh, okay.
So guess what I did with it?
What?
I made a coffee table out of it. I got it out in the truck. I got it now where you can. I've got the glass cut where you can
Yeah.
just set the glass down on it.
Oh, okay.
And you can look and see a brand new 1964 80 Yamaha engine while you're drinking coffee or
What about
watching
that
TV.
now?
Can you start it up while you're?
You know, I could make it do that.
That would,
But
it might be a little.
fumes?
Might be a little. Might need to be outside on the front porch at that point.
Two cycle too. You know, it kind of burns a little oil.
Yeah.
You think it might smoke the house up?
I'd put it on the porch.
Hey, so you remember Larry was here, the baseball guy?
Oh, yeah,
He's
yeah.
pretty sharp on that stuff.
He knows way more than me.
Well, so I told him I go down at Dameron's and have coffee with him and every Wednesday morning before I come to the show because it's people I went to school with. And so I told him, I said, we was talking about the World Series and stuff. And so he's going to come up next week. We're going to talk about World Series and his predictions. And,
Oh, okay.
and we're going to look up some of the older World Series balls and bats and jerseys. And, you know, he came to Tullahoma in '66. He said he came from Florida. And so he said that the coach wanted him to play football because he did down in Florida, and he played baseball.
Right,
He's
yeah,
both
sure.
good at both of those.
Okay.
And so they told him, go down to the equipment guy, and he'll load you up with stuff. So he gets his pads and his knee pads and you know, the practice uniform. Guess what his helmet was made of?
Hopefully not leather.
Yes.
Oh God.
Still leather.
Oh man.
Wouldn't you like to have those leather?
As a collectible thing, yes.
Yes. Yes. So I'm going to look up.
Man.
So we're going to talk about today. In the 20s and the 30s and 40s, department stores was it. You know, I mean,
Oh yeah.
and catalogs. You
sure.
actually you could order like from Sears and
Just-
J.C. Penney's and all the different ones. Monkey Ward, you know, they call it Montgomery. But everybody called it Monkey Ward. But you could not, you know, the people that lived out in rural, you know, they couldn't go to Nashville or Chattanooga.
Right, yeah.
So they ordered by the catalog.
That was the internet. The original internet was
Yeah.
your Sears
and so
catalog.
what happened, you know, in the 50s with all the growth from World War II, you know, all the new homes going up out in the rural, what happened to the department stores was what happened today. You know, stores started going out into the rural. And so, as you know now, I guess there's a few companies that still have catalogs. Matter of fact, there's some of the larger companies, not the Sears and stuff. But,
Yeah.
What's that fishing company?
I was gonna say I got a catalog from Sweetwater yesterday, which is a musical instrument thing, and it was a solid inch and a half thick. So.
And what is there, Galuth or what is that? There's several companies still have catalogs,
Yeah.
but they're specialty companies now.
Right. Yeah.
Guess what? Ain't that funny? So they had catalogs, then they didn't have catalogs, and now they got catalogs again.
True. Yeah.
So department store guitars. You want to enlighten them a little bit?
Okay. And I'll say my first guitar was a department store
What was it?
guitar. It was a Global from Sears.
Well,
So
I never
not the big brand.
yeah. Well, I never got a guitar, but as I got older, I collected a lot of Gene Autry and Roy Rogers and Hopalong Casket. And guess what kind of guitars I got?
What?
Department stores.
Department store. Oh, there you go.
Like a Roy Rogers department store guitar in the 50s was like $349 per guitar. Think about that. Now, some of them was made out of cardboard too.
Oh, really?
But
Wow.
Gene Autry had some really nice wooden guitars.
Okay.
And you're going to tell everybody about it, and they're going to realize that there's probably a bunch of our people that listen to our show. It's probably got a few.
They
of
just
those
might have
guitars.
one stuck away, yeah. Okay, on Christmas morning 1956, a 9-year-old Philadelphia boy received the gift of a lifetime, a new acoustic guitar. It cost his parents a grand sum of $20 in 1956 at the local Sears Roebuck department store. Labeled on the headstock, the brand was Silvertone. Little did the boy, Earl Erb, suspect that the guitar would eventually lead him to a career as a professional guitarist, playing with country music stars like Barbara Mandrell, Jim Ed Brown, and Roger Miller. Just like Earl, countless 20th century guitarists began with inexpensive department store guitars. Offering a range of pieces and easily available from both department stores and their mail-order catalogs, department store guitars became some of the most common 20th century guitars. As the department stores did not have their own guitar factories, they bought the guitars wholesales from established manufacturers, which branded the guitar with any name desired. In order to offer a variety of prices, some were made quite cheaply. Because of that, some guitars sneer at department store guitars as junk. Others, though, were made of quite high quality. For most of the 20th century, American guitar factories made all the department store guitars, primarily the big Chicago manufacturers. Harmony, Kay, and Valco were some by New Jersey's Dan Electro, and even a precious few by high-end makers like Gibson, which I did not know that they did that. It makes sense, though. Today, these old department store guitars are still some of the most common vintage guitar found at auctions, flea markets, and antique stores. While some are only worth $50 to $100, some are worth over $1,000. One Montgomery Ward model is the holy grail of department store guitars, worth up to $25,000 today. Knowing which guitar brand belonged to which department store and who made which brand and model can help with an antique professional separate the good from the bad from the ugly. Knowing a little about the history of American department stores can also enrich the experience too. Before big box stores and the internet began to dominate American retail, department stores and their mail order catalogs filled the same niche. Department stores arrived after the Civil War, a function of the booming industrial economy, said Miami University historian Stephen Kahn in a recent interview. Every major and minor city had a great department store in its downtown. Mostly based in Chicago, the biggest national department store chain had still familiar names like Sears and Roebuck, Montgomery Ward, Spiegel, Alden's, Western Auto, and J.C. Penney. Additionally, most cities and big towns had their own local or regional department stores like Kaufman's in Pittsburgh and Reich's in Dayton, Ohio. All the big department store chains had their own booming mail-order catalogs to serve rural America. Back then, Chicago and its mail-order catalogs supplied the whole Big West, said Kahn. Say you lived in the middle of Iowa, it was the only way to get store-bought goods. You can even buy a house in the Sears catalog delivered in parts, which I lived on Sears Roebuck Road, which...
Absolutely, and
Yeah,
one of the Sears and Roebuck houses burned down. Right
Yeah, I
there.
was gonna say that was what
Was
the
that the
road.
last one?
That was what the road was named for. Was that one on the corner? So
Was that the only one on the road?
as far as I know, yeah. So it's gone. So
Yeah, it's gone now. But there's still some that survived here in the county.
Really?
There's a few.
Okay.
There's some in Tullahoma. I don't
Okay.
know where now.
I
but-
can't pick them out, but I was always told that one came from the catalog.
Yeah.
Wish I'd gotten to walk through it before it burned down too.
You should have filmed it.
Actually, I came home and the fireman was
I mean, you should have
finishing
filmed
with
it before.
Oh, filmed it before. Oh, okay, yeah. After the mandolin boom of the 1910s and the tenor banjo boom of the 1920s, guitars increased in popularity in the 1930s. At that time, Silvertone was the Sears guitar brand. Silvertone cowboy guitars with cowboy scenes stenciled on top appealed to young fans of the popular cowboy movies and radio shows. Mostly made by Harmony, acoustic guitars are still commonly found in the antique world, while many have become just cool-looking wall hangers due to warped necks and bodies. Some are still playable. Depending on the condition and playability, they're generally worth $100 to $400 or a bit more in excellent condition. During the 1930s depression, Gibson, one of the world's finest guitar makers, made guitars for Montgomery Ward and Spiegel department stores. According to Paul Fox's seminal book, The Other Brands of Gibson, Gibson made 28 different Montgomery Ward guitar models, mostly with the brand name Recording King, but also Carson Robinson and Roy Smeck. For Spiegel, Gibson made 4 different guitar models, all under the brand name Old Craftsman. The problem with identifying the valuable 1930s Gibson department store guitars is that lesser manufacturers also make guitars for Montgomery Ward and Spiegel with the same brand names. Wow. That would definitely make it hard to...
So right now, go to flea markets, go to antique stores.
Yeah.
And so a lot of those department stores, you could end up with a Gibson.
Yeah, so if you're looking for them now, you can't just grab it by the name though, but you could probably pick it up and strum a chord on it and probably be able to tell pretty quick.
Well, like Ronnie, I know he collects guitars, so he knows them. So Ronnie, there you are. You need to go start working those flea markets and antique stores and try to find you a few old Gibsons stuff. Because I know you do a lot of eBay stuff.
That'd be a way to get them. And you know, those older guitars were made out of older growth wood, and the rings were tighter. The sound is different.
Yes.
Better. Tighter, you know.
Let's say if you find a cheap 1930s Recording King guitar that is also marked Ray Whitley, you just got rich, they said, because the Recording King Ray Whitley jumbo flat top guitar is the holy grail of department store guitars, worth about $25,000 in excellent condition.
Burn that in your memory.
There you go. Department stores, after a slow decline in the late 1940s, after World War II, the big downtown department stores struggled with the suburban boom.
See what I told you?
Said the historian. Many built new stores in the new suburban malls, but the old downtown stores struggled to keep up. Despite that, the brightest days of the guitar business soon dawned with the thunderous arrival of rock and roll music. Yeah, I'm sure that kind of helped. In the 1950s, the upstart New Jersey manufacturer Dan Electro began making electric guitars for Sears. By then, having abandoned the brand name Silvertone in about 1941, or abandoning Supertone in 1941, Silvertone was the Sears guitar brand. Dan Electro guitars are easily spotted by their pickups, which are truly housed in repurposed silver lipstick tubes.
Ain't that something?
I've always heard them called that, but I had no idea that was real. Though.
See, every week you learn something.
True. Today, many of the Dan Electro Silvertone electric guitars are worth between $500 and $1,000. Harmony and Kay also built Silvertone electric guitars. They're typically not quite as valuable as the Dan Electro Silvertones. Still, any 1950s Silvertone electric guitar is worth at least a few $100 and probably more, with a select few models topping out at maybe $1,500. By 1958, Montgomery Ward had changed its guitar brand from Recording King to Sherwood, and finally Airline, made by Valco. The best Airline electric guitars are mid-century modern works of art, known as Rezo-Glass guitars. The unusual shaped bodies are skinned with brightly colored fiberglass and look like a cross between a guitar and a 57 Chevy Hot Rod.
Hey, hold that thought. Guess what we got to do?
What do we got to do?
Pay the bills.
You're tuned in to Let's Talk Antiques on your hometown station, Thunder Radio. We'll return in just a moment.
Hello, I'm Pickin' Rick T from CFC, best place to get you used auto parts and all types of metals to repurpose for your needs. Just take a drive down 55, see this handsome guy, stop on by. Check out our computer for hundreds of autos to locate the make and the model of the part you need. $2 fee is all you pay. Sign in and get a hand stamp, it's good for all day. Bring in your tools, get the parts you need pulled. and use a wheelbarrow to lighten the load. Pay for your parts, prices you'll be fond of. Each part's price the same, Chevy or Honda. Get exchange warranty for 30 days too. Swap out the parts you don't need for the parts that you do. Happy picking!
My name's John Hirschman. I'm one of the original 6 owners of P&H Rentals. Started the company 30 years ago when we saw a need for individual, construction, industrial, and commercial storage. We have trailers and containers for lease and sell. Our physical location is 2947 Old Manchester Highway, Tullahoma, Tennessee. My phone number is area code 931-273-4252.
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
Rush Bricken demands governmental financial responsibility.
Rush Bricken cares about veterans and will defend the Constitution.
Rush Bricken knows small business creates good jobs.
On November 6th, you have a choice for your Tennessee State Representative.
I'd like to be your next Tennessee representative.
For fiscal soundness.
I'm picking Bricken.
For low taxes.
I'm picking Bricken.
For good jobs and roads.
I'm picking Bricken.
Vote Rush Bricken November 6th to the Tennessee State House of Representatives.
Hey everybody, we're back with Talking Antiques, and the number here is 728-1320.
Okay.
All right, we're back and we're talking about guitars.
Max is our friend, isn't he?
He is.
He used to be. What's
Oh,
Mac up to?
You don't like him?
I haven't seen him. He doesn't come see us
Oh,
anymore.
he used to be, so you've been
Oh,
friending him?
yeah. I miss him. That's it.
Did you unfriend Max?
I don't think so.
You know it hurt his feelings if you did.
That's why he quit. He quit coming around while you were on sabbatical.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. So.
Okay, so tell us a little bit more. So we're gonna look up some.
We'll get
guitars
some
and all kinds of
guitars here.
stuff. Amps.
The early 1960s brought the tidal wave known to guitar historians as the Great Guitar Boom. This was largely due to the Beatles and folk movement that was taking place. And Ron Rothman, author of Harmony, the People's Guitar, and owner of Rothman Guitars, said in a recent interview to the uninitiated, "It is surprising to learn of the avalanche of guitars produced in the boom years of 1964 to 1967. Most of the department store guitars found today are from that era. By then, Alden's guitar brand was Holiday, JCPenney's guitar brand was Pencrest, Western Auto's guitar brand was True Tone. Some guitar makers made the same guitar model for different department stores, with the only difference being the brand name on the headstock. For example, Harmony made a guitar called the Stratotone that was sold to many department store chains under their own brands, Alden as Holiday, Sears as Silvertone, and Montgomery Ward as Airline. While some department store Stratotone models are worth more than $1,000, the most common sell for $400 to $700. Still, nice find. One of the niftiest great guitar boom guitars were the Danelectro Amp in Case. The Danelectro built electric guitar came with a guitar case housing a small but quality tube amplifier. Every guitar collector has probably had one at one time, and the two pickup version can maybe bring $700 to $800 in great condition. I've seen one of those before, but the amp wasn't working in the case.
I wonder how hard it'd be to get them working.
Just have your amp guy work on it. It would be. During the Great Guitar Boom, a monsoon of Japanese guitars flooded America, replacing American guitars. In the 1960s, Japanese electric guitars often look like works of art with wild colors, wild shapes, and endless knobs and switches. On the other hand, many play poorly without significant setup work. In general, the more pickup switches, knobs, and funky embellishments they have, the more they are worth. Most sell for $100 to $300, but a few models have attracted cult followings and higher prices. 1968 was the death knell of the guitar boom, said Frank Myers, author of The History of Japanese Electric Guitars. and owner of the phenomenal Drowning in Guitars website. In a recent interview, a combination of market oversaturation and the fading of a fad led to its end. As a result, the American guitar manufacturers Kay, Valco, and Dan Electro all went out of business in 1968 and 69. In the wake of their demise, Japan began to corner the American department store guitar market. As proven in old Sears catalogs, in 1966, the American companies Harmony, Kay, and Dan Electro made all of the Sears guitars. In 1968, Sears offered 5 American guitars and 2 Japanese brands. In 1969, Sears offered only Japanese guitars except for 1 American Harmony. And in 1970, Sears only sold Japanese guitars. In the 1970s, department stores typically sold cheap, often poorly made Asian guitars that now have little collectability or value. At the time, it's not likely that any department store could see the coming two-fisted apocalypse of big box stores and the internet. In the 80s and 90s, the big box stores signaled the rise of Chinese industrial economy, and the historian Kahn, with the big box's sole emphasis on selling cheap foreign goods, department stores suffered a serious blow. With the arrival of internet commerce like Amazon, department stores suffered another big blow. Amazon's a kind of version of the old mail order catalog, said Kahn. It's like a mail order catalog on steroids. Though many department stores remain, their golden age is past. With it, the golden age of department store guitars is past too. Panning through the department store guitar gravel for the gold can be rewarding for the patient professional who has done his homework. Learning about the department store brands is tricky though, because instrument brands are bought, sold, retired, and revived with regularity. Asian-made Silvertone guitars are common today, but are not the classic American Silvertones. In recent years, both the Airline and Recording King brand names have been revived, but guitars are not the old classics. Further, most non-guitarists can't tell an unplayable guitar neck from a good neck, whereas a guitar player can tell it in about 5 seconds. Most importantly, pricing vintage guitars is like pricing vintage cars. It all depends on its condition. After his Christmas 1956 Silvertone guitar gift, Earl Erb eventually progressed to Fender and Gibson guitars, the brands of guitar professionals, touring and recording with country music greats for decades. He traveled a long way from his Christmas 1956 gift, but it all began for him under the Christmas tree with a humble Silvertone department store guitar. Let me point out, by the way, they said that he toured with Roger Miller, and I worked with Dean Miller, Roger's son, and did an album with him. He was a really cool young guy at the time, and he was trying to not ride on his father's coattails, which probably hurt his career, actually. Probably need to take advantage of that kind of thing when you can.
So he didn't do it?
He did not. He made no reference to his dad's style or things like that. It was just a traditional country record. He was really good singer. I mean, he inherited a great voice from his dad.
So is he still?
I actually heard him on the radio a couple of weeks ago, and he just produced a tribute album to his dad with, famous artists of all around, like young and old artists doing his dad's old songs, and so he has finally embraced his dad's legacy. But,
I mean, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, it's
ego will get you everything.
Yeah, there you go.
So, to sum it up, there's a lot of guitars that people have. There's a lot of guitars at flea markets. There's a lot of guitars at antique stores that could have some value that a lot of people, don't really understand what you just went through.
Right. You got to.
I mean, when you talk
you
about
gotta
Gibson
know.
or that, what's that Dan guy? Dan what?
Dan Electro?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you really got to be able to tell a good guitar from a bad guitar.
So
is the thing.
you've looked up two different guitars?
I pulled up the Dan Electro and Silvertones here.
What are you looking up, Ronnie?
I've got the harmonies and the...
Okay. Well, let's go to it.
All right.
We'll go to a few. We're almost real close to a break anyway, a couple minutes, so we can get a few before we take a break.
Okay. I got a 1960s Dan Electro Longhorn 6-string bass. The 6-string bass is pretty rare. And they say it's in excellent condition. It was a buy it now for $3,240. Actually, $3,300 after shipping. So it looks in gorgeous shape too. And here's a 1954 Dan Electro U1. It's a very early spiral bell headstock guitar from the 1950s. They were one in $4,200. There's a big gap there. Somewhere between $1,500 and $3,000 is what they got. But it's a pretty cool looking guitar. Here's a really weird vintage Dan Electro Belzuki 12-string electric guitar, 1965 model, a 2070 model. And it looks like, boy, I don't know what you call that. It looks kind of like a flattened fiddle, almost something. It's pretty strange looking. So it was $1,500 as a buy it now. Here's a pretty cool one. It's a Dan Electro double neck, 6-string and 4-string, copper burst guitar. The $1,362 was the buy it now on there. Here's a Jerry Jones Dan Electro 6-string bass. Okay. They were asking $1,600 and got somewhere between the $1,300 and $1,000 on that. Another Dan Electro Longhorn bass, 4-string one this time. 28 bids on that, went for $990. Oh, it says it was owned by Buzz Osborne, who I'm not really sure who it is, but it's a guy with crazy hair holding it. Oh, here you go. Here's the 64 Dan Electro Silvertone model 1457 red burst with the amp in case.
That's the one you're talking about.
Yep, with the original foot switch, it says. It was a buy it now for $950.
Would it have brought more?
Let me see if it works. Guitar is one of a lifetime finds. I bought it from the original owner in 1998 while I was learning to play guitar. I had no idea how terrific the guitar was until I started playing it. I learned about its history and found out how rare it is to find a fully functional 1457 with the case. Original tubes for the amp. Oh gosh, that guitar case would have been powered by a tube amp from the back then. So that would seem kind of dangerous to have tubes inside of that. Get pretty hot. It would, yeah. You don't want to touch them. Has the original lipstick pickups, tuning pegs, and tremolo foot switch. Guitar and case are in very good shape. The wear on them is consistent with use. None of the imperfections from actual damage done to either of them, and they both sound terrific. The case has wear on the edges of the case with a tiny bit of peeling at the corners. None of the fabric is ripped off, just peel away a bit and can be replaced with glue in a steady hand. Inside of the case is nearly perfect. The red plush on the inside is a bit crushed, again consistent with age and normal wear. No tears, bald patches, etc. The tubes and the amp are all original and work perfectly. The cord is original, as is the foot switch, which is in perfect working order and excellent condition. So there you go.
It'd have brought more than that if it just went on and sold it. Probably wouldn't.
I think, yeah. Well, it went for $950 and it had $100 shipping on it, so maybe $11.50s might be about what they're worth. Here's another a Dan Electro 3412 model, short horn bass, 1960s bass. It says it's.
I'll tell you what, it's 9:30. We better take a break.
Okay.
Go ahead and do that while she comes in here.
It said it was owned by Buzz Osborne of the Melvins. So that's the guy. I've heard of the Melvins. They're kind of a wild band. 1960s Dan Electro guitar with a built-in amp and case, original wrapping. Here's another one. That was they were wanting $970 with $200 shipping, and they took a best offer somewhere around $900. A Dan Electro baritone electric guitar. This was the thing that I would see Dan Electros in Nashville for. It was basically like an electric guitar with two strings on the top that went lower, so you could get a bass. It was kind of a weird. It wasn't now lower than a regular guitar. It was kind of, it was like the top four strings were like the bottom four strings were like the top four strings of an electric guitar, and then they went two lower than an electric guitar. So people would bring them in and kind of it would be that kind of twangy, cool retro sound. Was all I know.
Did you do a lot of country music at that studio?
Yeah, it was 90% country music, I'd say. Let's see. It seems like a lot of basses are bringing the Dan Electro basses, $750.
Yeah, let's take a break and then we'll get into some more guitars.
Let's Talk Antiques returns on your hometown station in just a moment.
My name's John Hirschman. I'm one of the original 6 owners of P&H Rentals. Started the company 30 years ago when we saw a need for individual, construction, industrial, and commercial storage. We have trailers and containers for lease and sell. Our physical location is 2947 Old Manchester Highway, Tullahoma, Tennessee. My phone number is area code 931-273-4252.
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
Pick and Rick T from CFC, best place to get you used auto parts and all types of metals to repurpose for your needs. Just take a drive down 55, see this handsome guy, stop on by. Check out our computer for hundreds of autos to locate the make and the model of the part you need. $2 fee is all you pay. Sign in and get a hand stamp, it's good for all day. Bring in your tools, get the parts you need pulled, and use a wheelbarrow to lighten the load. Pay for your parts, prices you'll be fond of. Each part's price the same, Chevy or Honda. Get exchange warranty for 30 days too. Swap out the parts you don't need for the parts that you do. Happy picking.
Rush Bricken knows agriculture and farming is vital to Tennessee.
Rush Bricken supports our community and our faith-based charities.
On November 6th, you have a choice for your Tennessee State Representative.
I have the experience and background to be an effective Tennessee representative for you.
20 years on the county commission.
I'm picking Bricken.
40 years in business.
We're picking Bricken.
Vote Rush Bricken November 6th to the Tennessee State House of Representatives.
All right, we're back.
Yep. All right, we're going to talk about the Harmony guitars for a few minutes. Give Philip a little break here. Let me get up here to the top. I was sitting here being curious. Okay, we have a 1957 Harmony H62. It's a hollow body. It's got the FO. It's a jazz guitar. Brought $450.
No, you missed it. It's $1,450.
I said $1,450.
Oh, I thought you said $450.
No,
I'm sorry,
I said $1,400.
So that's a big difference. That's $1,000.
Yeah, and then we have another 50s. They don't know the exact year because they haven't run the numbers evidently. It's a vintage bass guitar. It's a Harmony silver tone, in Airline K. That's what you see the most of is those Ks. And it brought I'm gonna say it brought about $1,200 because they were asking $22.99. Took a best offer.
Ronnie, I mean, we're talking about a guitar that you could probably buy, what, for $10 at the time or something, or less?
They'd be more. They would have been more than $10, but they wouldn't.
So?
They wouldn't have been real expensive though.
Well,
I mean, this
is like $100.
Yeah, this is a 50s.
50
it's
and
a bass.
below. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, now here's a 60s Harmony acoustic. It's got a natural finish and it's got a wide neck. Brought $995. And I've got a 1959 Stratotone Jupiter H49. Brought about $900. I've got a 60s, now here's a Roy Schmeck H73. It's a FO electric guitar. Says it plays good. Brought $810 and it had 33 bids on it. So they were after that Roy Schmeck. Got a Harmony. They're not giving you much details here. They're just saying it's a Sovereign acoustic with a hard case. Brought $806 with 18 bids. Here's a 60s Silvertone. It's another K National Harmony with a case. Brought, well, let's see here. I'm going to say about $750. Because they were asking $900 for it and took a best offer. Then we've got a Harmony H16. That's a Bobcat vintage electric guitar. Brought $700 on a buy it now. And here's another hollow body Silvertone. Brought $616 with 26 bits. So they were bidding on that one. It's not a bad looking guitar.
Hollow body, is that a acoustic guitar?
Yeah, you know, some of them were solid body. It's not an acoustic guitar, David.
It's electric.
Yeah.
But it's hollow.
But it's hollow, yeah. The jazz players and the blues players like those.
Or like a Chuck Berry guitar, you
Yeah.
kind of think
Oh,
of it.
really?
He played those kind of guitars.
And some of them, you know, were solid bodies later on. But you had the hollow bodies first, and then you
Right,
had
yeah.
solid
So
bodies.
you didn't have solid to start with.
Then here's a 1952 H165 mahogany vintage acoustic guitar, 1952. Brought about, yeah, I'd say it brought about $600. And then I have a 65, another Harmony Sovereign. This is a H1260 acoustic, and with the neck's been reset on it. Brought $576 with 13 bids. Then I have a, okay, here you go. Here's an old Harmony 4-string bass guitar. Brought $602 with 2 bids. And this next one's going to be best guess what it brought. Here's a Harmony H49 Stratotone, another Stratotone Jupiter, 1963 model. Brought somewhere between $500 and $600.
That's one of those. How many knobs is it's got? Is that 5 or 6 knobs?
6,
on
because
there?
you got one right there.
Yeah.
I mean,
And that's probably volume.
2 pickups and
Maybe.
6 knobs.
Yeah.
I wonder what in the world if some of those are spares, maybe.
Yeah, because you know you're only using 3 of them.
You'd think.
You use one, you know, per each pickup in a volume. Here's a acoustic guitar with a natural finish and case. Brought $500 on a buy it now. $499. That's might as well be $500, hasn't it? Here's another Harmony H1101 tenor guitar with pickup. Brought $530 with 25 bids.
Hey, Ronnie, I know that you used to, I don't know if you still do it, but you used to go to flea markets all the time. Did you see a lot of these guitars at the flea market?
I saw a lot of Harmonies.
You did?
I'd walk right by them.
Not even pick them up?
Not even pick them up.
What were they selling for? Were they?
Could have bought them.
Were they getting
cheap.
these kind of prices? Or?
No, you could have picked them up for $40, $50, probably $100 at the most, depending on what they had. But you know, I just walk right by them at the time.
Well, these are in pretty nice condition here too.
Yeah, I was looking at an amp down there It was the first Harmony amp that I saw in the listings. And I was thinking, like, Sound Projects company in Illinois made those amps for Harmony.
Who made them?
Sound Projects. I'm pretty sure that's it. But this old Harmony Tube amp brought $300 on a buy it now.
Yeah, well, that's like the older radios. You know, you'd get a kit in the mail and put it together yourself.
Yeah.
A lot of guitar amps were like that
Yeah.
to start with.
Really?
Yeah.
Speaking of radios, I'll tell you something else that I've been looking at that's really... You remember those little transistor radios in the 60s?
Yeah.
They cost like $4 and $5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why I was looking at it is when I was a kid, I was about probably 10. I got one of those things. I thought that was the greatest thing I'd ever seen.
I hide under the covers and listen to baseball games at night. Is that that was the thing? Yeah.
But anyway, some of those things are bringing hundreds of dollars and some thousands.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, man.
Well, get back to what we're talking about, though. I just thought about it.
Well, hey, that's good money for a little radio that didn't cost, what, $10 new?
Yeah, probably way less than that. Yeah.
Okay, I got a Harmony Rocket. It's H54. They say it's either a 69 or a 70 model. Brought $500.
Wow.
And now this is really a good looking guitar here. Here's a 1950s Harmony Stratotone electric guitar. Brought $519. Might as well say $520. And here is a Harmony Rocket 67. It's got the D'Armond pickups. They made, D'Armond Company made those.
Yeah, those are the
for
ones
most of
that
the
people look for.
Mm-hmm. And Rowe D'Armond Company is what it is now, because they called them those Rowe pickups.
Oh.
$450. Here is a 60s Harmony H72. It's another hollow body. Brought $405 with 3 bits. An H72, 69 or 70 hollow body. Brought $400 with 1 bit. And here's a Harmony Stella. Brought
I have a Stella.
You know, Stella was on our list. Harmony made those too.
Georgette Jones drew a picture of a tractor and stuff on it. And, wrote a tractor. She wrote a song about a tractor, and Clint, Walter Brennan's great-grandson, done the artwork on it. But it's a Stella. I probably shouldn't have painted on it. How much that bring on it?
The Stella had brought they had $449 on it, and took a best offer something better than $420, so probably about $450.
Probably a little bit over. We probably need to take one more break here, and then we'll finish up.
We're a little past our break time, but you know that's.
Hey, while we're waiting on that though, why don't you two do like the? I wanted people to hear some of the prices of like the Gene Autry guitars and Roy Rogers guitars. One of you look up Gene Autry, and one of you look,
Roy Rogers?
Yeah. You gonna do the Gene Autry?
Sure thing. I'll get Gene Autry guitar. Okay. Let me see if I've got sold listings. I don't have sold. Let me get on that. Let's see.
Do you have any guitars?
And let's see some price.
Yeah, there's one.
Let's see. Here's a vintage Gene Autry Roundup guitar, Supertone. It says it's a Parlor.
So is that's a little bit bigger guitar. Long. It looks like the neck's pretty long on it.
I'm trying. Let me see. There's something on it.
What's it say about it?
Oh, it's got a. It's like a. I don't know if that's not Woodburn, but some kind of print of Gene Autry riding his horse, about to lasso some calves, I believe.
Yeah.
The wagon train behind him.
What does it say about it on this?
Let's see. Vintage Gene Autry Roundup guitar with original trapdoor case. A Supertone guitar from 1936. See label and stamp. Nice Survivor cowboy guitar. This is a real guitar, not just a toy. Got to look long and hard to find one of these in this goodish condition. Crack-free spruce top, birch back and sides, 14 frets to the body. Most cowboy stencil guitars are only 12 fret. Looks to be all original. Neck has been reset. It plays and sounds good. Tuners work well. Pictures speak for themselves. Oh, what a great gem this is. Original trapdoor case included, is missing its handle and trapdoor. So
How much was it?
let's see, what did that? It sold for $250. Was that a buy it now, or did that auction at that? That was a $250 buy it now.
What's that next one?
Vintage Gene Autry Melody Ranch Silvertone guitar with original case and slide. So it's got another
scene on
stencil. Maybe have to.
They all had Western scenes on them.
This had 14 bids, by the way, too. 14 bids and went for $218.50. And it's seen. It's actually the same scene. It's just colored different.
Okay.
This is red and white instead of black on a blonde body. What have you got there, Ronnie, on yours?
Basically, all we've got over here are going to be toy guitars in the Roy Rogers.
Yeah.
I've got a 1950s Roy Rogers and Trigger original guitar with the box, brought $75. Want to buy it now? And I have one down here, just the guitar, brought $60. And I have one that was autographed by Roy Rogers, brought $50. That would have been a good buy.
That seems like a good one.
Was it a toy guitar?
These are all toy guitars. Yeah, we're talking about.
I've got a Gene Autry Melody Ranch 6-string acoustic guitar. It's an estate sale where it was purchased. Doesn't have any strings, probably not playable. But 12 bids on that, $201. And another Gene Autry 1940s guitar. Looks the same as the other one. 9 bids, $168 for that one. It doesn't have any strings.
These are real guitars, though, not toys.
Yes, these are, yeah.
Let's take a break. And
Tiffany, did you hear us talking about you in there?
No, I hope it was all good.
It was all good.
Always, yeah.
And if it was a rumor, I hope it was really juicy.
Oh, it was.
Well, there you go. All the juiciness you could ever want. Let's Talk Antiques returns in just a moment.
My name's John Hirschman. I'm one of the original 6 owners of P&H Rentals. Started the company 30 years ago when we saw a need for individual, construction, industrial, and commercial storage. We have trailers and containers for lease and sell. Our physical location is 2947 Old Manchester Highway, Tullahoma, Tennessee. My phone number is area code 931-273-4252.
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
Pick and Rick T from CFC, best place to get you used auto parts and all types of metals to repurpose for your needs. Just take a drive down 55, see this handsome guy, stop on by. Check out our computer for hundreds of autos to locate the make and the model of the part you need. $2 fee is all you pay. Sign in and get a hand stamp, it's good for all day. Bring in your tools, get the parts you need pulled, and use a wheelbarrow to lighten the load. Pay for your parts, prices you'll be fond of. Each part's price the same, Chevy or Honda. Get exchange warranty for 30 days too. Swap out the parts you don't need for the parts that you do. Happy picking!
Rush Bricken understands the importance of education.
Rush Bricken knows agriculture and farming is vital to Tennessee.
Rush Bricken believes in a good education and creating job skills.
On November 6th, you have a choice for your Tennessee State Representative.
I'll represent your conservative values in Nashville.
40 years in business.
I'm picking Bricken.
20 years on the county commission.
We're picking Bricken.
Vote Rush Bricken November 6th to the Tennessee State House of Representatives.
Hey, everybody, we're back with Talking Guitars.
We are. So we've just got some random stuff here. I got a 1935 Montgomery Ward Hillbilly Cowboy guitar. Says this old guitar is going to need to be repaired if you ever want to play it again. It's incredibly rare and was only made for 1 year in 1935. It features a heavily warped neck, hairline cracks in the body, neck needs to be reset, bellying near the sound hole, been parked in on a cabin wall for years, unplayable loose glue joints, frets are lifting up. Sold for $180 with $20 shipping, so $200 for an unplayable old guitar.
Wanted it.
There you go. It's the only year it was made, so there.
Reminded them of something.
If that's what you're looking for, you got it.
I was just breezing through these, and I found a Lone Ranger and Tonto acoustic guitar. And I never heard the Lone Ranger or Tonto sing.
Well, I never heard Tonto say much anyway, besides
Kimosabi. Yeah, well, it brought $60 anyway.
Well,
Just
is it a newer one?
1950s.
Probably not.
And, well, it looks like a box behind it, but I can't swear to it.
I got a, let's see, what year is this say? This is a Gene Autry Children's Acoustic Guitar, limited edition, number 369, new in the original packaging. Some scuff marks on the shrink wrap. Guitar is untouched. So this is a Gene Autry Children's guitar, still in the shrink wrap. It went for $105 for that.
Huh.
That's pretty cool. It won't let me pull up the pictures of it from the closed ones.
Those Gene Autry's, you had a lot of real guitars.
Well,
Gene Autry's.
And Roy, he sang in the Sons of the Pioneer Band, and Gene Autry, I mean, what can we say about Gene Autry?
Yeah.
I mean, he was a singer.
Yes.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Here Comes Peter Cottontail, I mean, all kinds of, not counting all the regular songs.
Right.
Yeah. And at that point, we drop from the real guitars on the Gene Autry stuff to the toy kids guitar. Yeah, the plastic ones, and they drop down to 50, 40, 45, 35. So yeah, that's not bad for something that probably cost $2 originally. That is a good appreciation of value.
Look at it, that thing actually has a case that guitar's in.
Well, it's the cardboard thing that it came with. The cardboard box is the case.
Yeah.
That's a good thought for that. Wow, here was one it was a 1950s Gene Autry cowboy guitar that only sold for it was a buy it now for $21.
Oh.
I think they should have watched eBay. They should have watched eBay a little bit before they did that. They probably lost money on the shipping, because I've shipped a guitar before. It's not cheap. If you wanted to get there in one piece,
I've
it is
shipped
not.
several of them, and I learned that you take the strings loose from the neck when you ship them.
No. Well, yeah. Depends. I guess that one there probably got shipped economy.
Yeah.
But,
probably got broke, too.
Yeah.
There's the lunchbox.
That's what it said.
Bottle.
1950s Gene Autry Melody Ranch lunchbox without the thermos. $65.
Yeah,
That's
but you can buy
pretty
the
rough
thermos
shape.
right under it.
Yep, right under it. Your thermos is $26.
So for less than $100, you can have a complete Gene Autry lunchbox.
Yep. I don't know if I was to buy that, if my kids would appreciate it to carry their lunch in or not.
I'd say they'd probably be embarrassed to.
Not many people have metal lunchboxes. You might not even be allowed to carry metal lunchboxes to school. Yeah. You're probably afraid you're going to hit somebody with it.
Well, what about those? Are those regular boots or rain boots?
1950s cowboy boots. I think those are real children's boots.
Didn't bring nothing.
Boys Gene Autry boots size 9, 2 bids for $10.50. So that was a good deal on that one. Here's some of the plastic ones. Now the plastic ones brought $52. So.
Is that the rain boots?
I don't think they're real. I think they're the dress up ones that you wouldn't want to wear for more than a couple of minutes. felt lining inside. Boots shine like new. It doesn't say. It just says that they're Gene Autry boots.
What have you found, Ronnie? I know you over there scrolling.
I'm looking at some weird things, and
like pics.
Yeah, well, I don't really want to talk about these pics right now.
I've sold some pics online before.
These brought $20 a piece.
I think I got about 25 or 30 for mine.
Kind of
So
pics
yeah.
was it?
I had a.
These were from a tour, Pantera tour.
I had a Metallica pic that I caught at Bonnaroo. And,
that's
and I was,
about what they go
I was like,
for,
my kids are gonna
$25.
lose these. They're gonna be gone. I'm just gonna sell them on eBay, and I got about $35.
All right, with that, we're gonna have to wind the show down.
All right, we'll come back next week and talk.
We'll do it again.
World Series.
Yeah.
Ronnie, Phillip, and David, thanks for being here.